There it is, the tree of life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. Best part of a mount? No need to refuel. Wood scrap. The one kind of scrap you could actually still find growing. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. For being cut off from the surface, this isn't too bad. Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's mind. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best... thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree. It's Out of Date says there's a time for everything. Think of the present, because that's where you are. If you continue to do... If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So, he's prepared. He hopes you're right. Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke. The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs. He's been told the blight affected everything at a... It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, the Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world... He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark. Out of Date says that... He says he appreciates what you've done, sir. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intention, he says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Goop and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porkypuff needs to be handled. Out of Date says that Goop is worried now that the Southeast World Eater is stepping up its... He explains that Goop is working on a goo-gliding vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help. Out of Date suggests that you should... He wonders what's on your mind. This thing has a mind of its own. Let's see. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Let's see.
Yangu. Ajitawa. Tuzapi.
Says
Kandwale.
Goop says you were always so righteous as a
Yukia.
Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was.
Yangu.
He can't tell you much as he didn't want to hear anything about it. He can't understand how
Tenko.
He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin.
Itaku.
He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there.
Itaku.
Now the time has come for you to remember and... He thinks that's the right thing to do.
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light,
I mean, you could leave a little space.
all the light.
Rakia.
Can hardly...
Nufni.
Thanks you for doing everything.
Uza.
Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine. But hey, back to the...
Yatubuwila.
Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do to...
Wingi.
He can't leave the Subnautica station as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit. So you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck.
Wingi.
You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time.
Mukamba.
You're lucky that way. There's still cargo left on the shores from before the apocalypse. His best guess... You can't really understand your story till it's done. The world needs saving. Make the most of the day. don't have the key energy for that. The world is so much smaller underground. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surface. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and...
Mukamme. Sairuja. Exekon.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out.
Exekon.
There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need...
Donaku.
Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks. Squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll...
Sa te manu.
He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a babbler. Grab that steerer tight. Lots of notices on the board for things that made sense in the days when the surf was a lot cleaner. Interesting to see what they cared about here. Wonder if any of it... In the old days, this was a port for boats that went under the surf. They helped. They made a lot of green, which is... You should...